All right, welcome everyone. My name is Amy Edwards. I'm a platinum consultant here with Evolution and Archer Travel. And today I'm going to go over the corporate team building, and I am going to be talking about mentorship and adding your personal touch. So it's very important to advertise, bring new agents on, really start building that residual income. But it's even more important that you are a really good mentor, because you also want to make sure you retain those new agents. You want to give them a really good welcome. You want to make sure that you're helping them along the way and that you're really helping your team to maintain and to keep those agents. All right, so a few things we're going to go over. The first thing is you have somebody ready to be a travel agent, and we're going to talk about the enrollment link and how to get your new agents signed up to be a travel agent. Now, it's a really important step. We want to make sure we get everyone enrolled correctly, and we want to make sure we get them a link as soon as they are ready. We want to keep the momentum rolling if they're excited to get ready. We are going to talk about a new agent welcome packet, some ideas that I have for that, as well as kind of a switch in your vocabulary. So when you start to be a mentor, you want to start finding ways and titles to give other people with you. And so I'm going to really show you how to do this. Jarissa, this is not for profit agility. We're going to be talking about team building. So a little bit to do with the profit pool, yes. And then I'm going to walk through how to introduce new agents to your team and how to be sure that you're celebrating any new agents. So you want to make sure, as founder always says, celebrated and not tolerated. So we want to make sure that we make sure that our agents are always congratulated, that they're praised for all of their accomplishments. We're going to talk about agent tracking and communication. So I'm going to show you some tools that you can utilize in your back office to keep up with some of your agents on your team, whether they're your direct agents, or maybe especially if you're a gold and you have a few silvers on your team, that's going to be really beneficial to you. And then, of course, the last thing I'm going to talk about, how to put more of your special touch as far as giving checklists, using some sample forms, and just giving your agents some helpful tools to be super helpful to them and getting them started and getting them going as a travel agent, because we all know what it's like to become a travel agent in the beginning. It can feel a little bit overwhelming. Anything we can do to help them, that's what we are here for. So the first one is getting your business partner enrolled. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to kind of switch back and forth between my back office as well, but I am going to show you how to find the link to be able to use to get your new business partner enrolled, how to help them to get enrolled, because many times, sometimes if you just send them a link and you wait for them to get started, you could be waiting forever, right? You don't want to keep bothering them, but a lot of times you get that link out to them and you don't hear from them again. So it really helps if you can get them right on the line and help them with their enrollment. And the best way to do that is really have your confidence built up and to have your enrollment link ready and know how to speak to your new business partners. Also, alongside of that, even if let's say you invited 10 people and only 2 people or 5 people wanted to get started, you want to make sure you keep a running list of those who maybe weren't interested, or those who maybe don't get paid today. They could get paid Friday. They'd like to get started Friday. You want to make sure it's really key to keep a list to track who's going to get paid later, when they are going to get paid, so you can touch base with them. And then maybe those who didn't respond, like they attended your presentation, you explained to them what the business was about, and then maybe they just didn't respond or they didn't attend. So you want to get them rescheduled. So I typically use Excel. I have seen many people use an email marketing tool to be able to track them. So not only are you letting them know that you have this opportunity available, but if they don't get started right away, or if they don't complete their enrollment or attend, you can continue to kind of let them know that, hey, this is still here. It's available for you when you are ready. let's see, AP, I apologize. I don't know what your name is, but you asked who are the founder council members. So in just a few in just a few moments, I can pull up that list for you if you would like to see who the founder council members are. I am not a founder council member. I am a platinum though within Evolution and Archer Travel. So I basically just keep an Excel spreadsheet. I don't like to share too much personal information, so I probably could have done one with just the labels. But what I do is I do the potential prospect's name, their email, if I have it, and their phone number. And then I'll keep track of the day that they were scheduled to attend, and then any conversation I had with them. So very short 4 or 5 columns. Another thing you can do is if you use a scheduling software, many times you can export from that scheduling software so that you can keep track of anyone that wanted to get started, who would like to get started. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and I'm going to share with you the back office. I may have to log in again. Nope, that should be good. Okay, so those of you who are ready to enroll a new agent, you're wondering how you get them enrolled. So you're going to click on here in your back office. You're going to see a little icon here for enroll an agent. Over on the left here in the menu, there's also that same one. It's called enroll an agent. So if you click on that, what that's going to do is that's going to give your enrollment link. So right here is your entire enrollment link. You're going to see the last 5 digits is your agent ID. If you have more than one agent ID, or if you want to just copy and paste this, maybe send it in a text, or if they would like to get that done, you can then copy and paste this to them so that they can click on this link and they can come up with this screen right here. So once you do that, the first thing they're going to see is the screen. So they are going to select which country they are from. We get people from many different countries. We participate with countries outside of the US. Here is a great list of the countries we participate in. So if anyone is asking, can I join from Africa or can I join from the Philippines? You're going to be able to look in this list. And if they aren't able to, I usually tell them to keep in touch with me. You can put them right on that same Google sheet and you can keep track of maybe if we ever add the Philippines or if we ever add an area that they are currently located in. Now, if you have somebody who is a US a citizen and maybe they're in Mexico for a while, then they can get started because they are a US citizen. So there's a couple of different variables there. If you ever have any thought process of, are they eligible or are they not eligible, always check with your mentor. You want to make sure that they're putting in accurate information to be able to properly be certified to be a travel agent. So once you click on United States, I'm going to pause my sharing really quick because a lot of times it fills it in. So I'm going to take out those options. We just don't want to be broadcasting all of my personal information across the line here. All right, that'll take out most of it. Perfect. So the next thing that they are going to see then is going to be this screen. And they are going to then see, they're going to be able to select a language. Now it defaults to English. Many people are going to say, I can't find English. Well, it defaults to English here, so you should be just fine. They're going to be able to see they have an IVO package, $69.95. Here's the normal cost and then the monthly cost. They're an independent business owner. They're going to be able to see all of this information. Your sponsor ID and your name should automatically fill in here. If it's ever blank, resend them your link because this is an automatic fill option. And so they shouldn't be able to change that at all. They're going to then correctly verify that that is who their mentor is or their sponsor is. Then you are going to put in their name, or they can fill this out for themselves. Their gender. I always let them know that just need to fill out the areas with the red asterisk. So I usually tell people in the company name to leave that blank, just because you want your name on the certifications. And in your back office, when they fill in the company name, that's all you're going to see. You're not going to see their name. And so it's a little bit hard to kind of call them by name or to keep track of them if their company name is in here. Again, in the US, Social Security number, EIN number, typically this is where people might say, why do you need this? Well, we need it for IRS purposes. It's a completely secure site. And we are just going to use that for reporting to the IRS. Date of birth, email address. One thing I usually tell new agents is if you have an email address you don't use often, that's probably best to use, just because you get so many marketing material information. Some agents want to set up a new email. That's fine. They can do that now, or you can do that. They can do that later. Again, verifying the email address. You can have them put in the home phone, or the cell phone is required. So typically almost everybody nowadays has a cell phone, so that's where they would put that in. Of course, their address, street address, zip code, city, state, and then their web address. So this is the website that they are going to have for their travel business. Now, just getting started, they may not know what that is. They may not know what they want their company name to be. And so I always let them know you can absolutely just put in your name for now. You could put in your name with a number after if it's a very common name, but you would just put in your name for now, just kind of as a placeholder. And then you can change that at any time. So when you set up your website, you can actually change your web address at any time. They're then going to create a password, which is how they're going to get access to their back office, and then read through the terms and conditions and agree and click next. Once you click next, you take care of the $69.95. You get an agent ID on the screen. I always ask them to send me that agent ID, and then they get an email. The email from Evolution is going to include their agent ID and their password, and it's going to give them a link to the back office so that they can get started in their back office. Somebody said, I prefer using Google Suite because I can access it from any device, phone, desktop. Yeah, I think Google Chrome it works the best in. I've noticed if you can send this enrollment link in Safari, or if they open it on their iPhone and it's in Safari, that tends to get hung up when you hit the next button here. So yeah, for sure. Let's see. Carly, I can show you in just a moment what the different levels are, like gold and bronze and silver. Absolutely. Tammy, your feature is unavailable. So what I'd like you to do is reach out to your mentor and have them walk you through on your back office. I've never seen that happen before. So if you can reach out to your mentor, your gold or platinum leader, and have them look at your back office. All right, so that's how you get started. Let me go right here to the back office as well, just to show you the different levels there are in the team building. So the best place that I found to find this is going to be under business, leadership bonuses and qualifications, I believe. Oh, well. Let's get signed back in there. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go to business, and we are going to go to leadership bonuses and qualifications. All right, so here you are. So you're a consultant when you get started. That's what everyone is when they first initially get started. Once you have 3 business partners on your team, you are going to be considered an executive consultant. Once you have 6 business partners on your team, you're going to be a bronze consultant. And that is where you've now essentially earned more than your $69.95 a month. And now you have taken care of that residually to be able to take care of that $69.95. At 9 business partners, you are going to be considered a silver. A person who holds 15 IBO packages, and that's independent business owners or business partners, with the help of 3 silvers in their enrollment downline, you are going to be considered a gold consultant. And then 1 star, you have 300 agents, and that's going to be across your whole team with no more than 100 agents on one leg. So that's when you're considered a 1 star, and it does go up from there. So hopefully that helps you out to see where you are from executive, bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. All right, now let's talk about, we have a new agent enrolled. They have their agent ID. They are coming to us for guidance now. When they get the welcome packet from Evolution, it's going to give them access to their back office. It's going to tell them how to get their initial certification, and it's going to walk them through a new agent welcome packet in the back office. That welcome packet works fine. They worked really hard to put that together. I prefer a different welcome packet that kind of has my personal touch. It's going to show a few more screenshots. You're going to click here. Then you're going to click here. And so I'm really detailed with my welcome packet. And that's something you can absolutely create, or you can use the one in the back office and just kind of give a little more detail from there. Step-by-step instructions, I think, work really well. And again, including screenshots. Make sure and keep it updated, because there are a lot of updates that we have. Archer Travel and Evolution Travel work really hard to make sure that we are always updated with information. And especially with this last update to the website was really nice. Make it more of a checklist to follow. That usually works better in the mind of most people if they can have a checklist to follow. And especially since they're doing this their own time, if they have an hour on Monday and an hour on Tuesday, you don't want them spending the hour on Tuesday remembering what they did on Monday. Allow for check-ins often. So you want to make sure that they are allowed to check in with you. And on my checklist, you know, it's complete your certification. Let me know when you have that completed. Complete your new agent orientation. Let me know when you have that completed. Again, you can use the back office as a guide. The really great thing is about a welcome packet is now you're being able to brand your team. As a travel agent, we talk so much about branding. We talk about getting your name out there, having people know who you are, recognize your name, and associate it with a travel agency. You kind of want to work the same way with being a mentor. You want to be able to brand your team. Now, there's a certain level that you want to do this. If you're just getting 1 or 2 agents, go along with what your mentor is teaching. Don't try to reinvent the wheel just yet. I usually say at gold is a good time to get a team name and to start creating your own identity. Again, your mentor is going to be able to guide you better on what they like, but usually you're going to follow and you're going to duplicate exactly what your mentor did for your new agents. That's why it's so important that you're a good mentor, because you're teaching them to be a good mentor before they even know that they want to be a mentor. A really good checklist is a new agent checklist for you to follow. Have they gotten their certification? Have they completed their new agent orientation? Have they registered for suppliers? Were they able to go to a booking training? Did they learn how to do some bookings? Did they learn how to qualify a client? You want to know certain things about your agent and to keep up with them. And I really think, Courtney will tell you, I always giggle because she's a pen and paper kind of person. And so I like to do things a little more electronically. But for this checklist, I really think it's good with pen and paper. It's also really good because you can jot down notes about your new agent. When you have first conversations with them, they're going to tell you a little bit about their life and about their background and maybe what their goals are. You want to jot those down because you want to get to know them. Let's see. Megan asked, when you say branding your team, are you talking about creating your own team, like Team Catching Waves or Sunset? Absolutely. Now, don't do that right away. Get comfortable with your team first. Let your mentor help you. I usually say it's pretty good when you get to be like gold qualified or gold to be able to start branding your team. Talk to your mentor, let them know, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to start having my own team name, and they're going to get you some guidelines and help you to be able to do that. So your new agent checklist, again, some other things, if you have incentives for coming on board, you want to make sure if you promise them something, you're getting that to them. You want to make sure one-on-ones, super important. I actually use my Calendly. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, you should be able to see it there. I actually use my Calendly to be able to set up one-on-ones with my agents. I want to make sure that they have time to come to me directly, not always one-on-one, but even as a team, to come to me directly and be able to work with me on Zoom. I want them to be able to get personal help directly from me, as well as all of the trainings, corporate trainings, or if your team has trainings, they have all of that access to them, because sometimes it takes just a little one-on-one help to see them be able to catch on, or them to be able to really get it to click. You know, many of you probably know how long that you were kind of in a fog, or you felt a little overwhelmed, and then the day that it all just clicked and came together. So now vocabulary, you're going to hear me stumble across the words sometimes, because sometimes it's really hard to remember to use these, but I always say these are good kind of replacement words or replacement phrases. So instead of saying a prospect, typically we like to use the words business partner. We all want to be equal. We all want to feel equal. And that's just a really good term to use. Your sponsor, instead of saying sponsor, many times we say your mentor. They're going to be mentoring you. They're going to be following you along. They're going to be training you along the entire way. The same thing you're going to be doing to your new agents. Team building, I typically say mentorship or mentorship opportunity. Again, completely up to you and the phrases that you'd like to keep. Upline, instead of saying upline or downline, senior partner or junior partner. So you can use business partner, senior partner, or junior partner. I think that those just sound really, they sound like better terminology to be able to use and give more of a company presence. Next, I'd like to talk about introduction and celebrated, not tolerated. And this was really important to me. This is something I loved and I love seeing still, being a new agent and also being a mentor. And by the way, I don't know if I told you guys, but I've been an agent for about 2.5 years now. So when you get a new agent, when you get a new business partner, it's really important that you're going to introduce them. So you usually have like your team chat groups, you have your, you know, some people use Telegram, Messenger, Discord. There's so many different things that you use. And again, don't try to reinvent the wheel. So until you're gold, you're not going to have your own group, but you're going to be able to add them to a group that you are a part of, typically that your mentor has probably created, so that you can all be in this group together and you can really bounce ideas off of each other. And it really helps because there are senior travel agents and new travel agents in there. So it's a really great balance. You get really ideas that have been used for a while, as well as new input. So I like to call it the new agent flyer. So just a very quick, and each team, each gold agent or above has their own flyer that they like to use. An example of mine is just Team Sunset Certified Travel Agent. We have a logo. I am a part of Rising Tide. I'm a part of Team World Explorers, and then Team Sunset. So a quick name. I always have my new agents send me a photo so that I can use to introduce them to the team. So I'll say, welcome, Latoya Gonzalez from Michigan. So just something really quick, a nice introduction as you are adding them to your group. Another thing that I think is a really good idea is to consistently celebrate your team. Whether they get a new booking, if it's 200, if it's 500, you can set kind of a threshold if you'd like. You can do this monthly, you could do this weekly, however you choose to do this. But having a nice flyer, congratulating them on their booking, putting it on your team website or your team Facebook page, whatever you choose. Your mentor will kind of guide you through how to do that. But again, it's a nice flyer, it has their name, details what they had in bookings, congratulating them on their bookings, and then the different logos. So this happened to be a gold, another gold agent on my team. It was one of her agents. So that's why there's that added logo. So it's really good to also support kind of your entire group. So remember where you came from. So I think it's a really good idea to introduce and celebrate your new agents. And then agent tracking and communication, as well as utilizing your back office. So I'm going to kind of go back and forth just a little bit here because I want to show you some different things that your back office has that is very beneficial with you or for you when you are team building. But first, I want to talk about staying in touch with your direct agents. I personally, I try to do it about every 10 days to where I send a text. You can do text to every direct agent just to check in. Something about, hi, how are you? How was your weekend? How is it going? Do you need any assistance? I remind them then when I text them that I can help them, that I have a one-on-one. If you need any help, here's the link where you can schedule a one-on-one with me, and I would be happy to be able to help you if you need anything. But I usually start it off with, how are you? Because I want to create that personal relationship. I don't want to be all about how much did you book? What did you book? What step are you at? What are you doing? I don't want them to feel pressured either. And I usually do that about every 10 days. I always make sure, even if it's not my direct agents, whether it's be anybody on my team, once you become a gold agent, you can actually email everyone in your team. So I like to at least twice a week, I'd like to probably do it more, just send out emails from my back office. I'll send the weekly schedule. The beginning of the month, I'll send the monthly training schedule. I will remind people about being able to make daily commissions or instant commissions, or using profit agility, or how do you do a mock booking? Just things that are super beneficial to new agents. And you have to remember, even if you're duplicating the process, you always have new agents joining. So you don't want to forget about new agents who may not know about it, or an older agent who didn't have time last week to do it. You're bringing it up again so that they can help with that. So I usually a couple times a week have, just some, hey, here's a reminder to do this week. Carly, so where do you find the training schedule? So reach out to your mentor and they can let you know where the training schedules are. Yeah, because each team kind of has their own thing going, and they do that separately. The corporate training schedules are in your back office. You can see all of the corporate flyers. Heather asked, how do we know if an agent makes a booking? I use Discord. I personally have an area in my Discord that's called Agent Celebration. And I want to know every time they make a booking. I'm going to help them usually with their bookings. Usually they have questions, so I keep in touch with them. But I want them to let me know. I want them to be ready. Like, hey, I just had a 2-day hotel booking. It was 200. Or I had a family of 10 booked for a cruise line and I made 15,000. Whatever it is, nothing too small, nothing too large. Or I became Disney certified. I like to congratulate them for every accomplishment they make, no matter how small or how large it may be to the next person. And then one other thing that I do, and I'm going to show you how I do this, is that I introduce myself to new agents. So on my team, the new agents that join aren't always my agents, because I have silvers, I have golds, I have quite a few people who are actually working on team building. So I think it's really good idea to introduce yourself as the platinum consultant. In case their mentor is ever busy, they can always reach out to you. I have a very close relationship with my golds, with my silvers, with everyone on my team, to make sure that they know that I'm doing this as well. I don't want to surprise anybody or step on any toes. I want to make sure they know that I'm doing that. And then if an agent goes inactive, I'm going to show you how to see how an agent goes inactive, and I check in with them. Hey, how's it going? Is everything okay? Many times you would be so surprised how many people are like, oh my gosh, my card expired. I didn't even know it was inactive. So check in with them at least, you could do it daily, you could do it a couple times a week. Try not to go more than a week. Definitely don't go a month, because then that gets to be a little too far out. And then if an agent cancels, just send them a quick thank you. Like, I want to thank you. I hope everything was okay. I wish you great success in your future endeavors. Make sure that you are just staying in touch with them. And, sometimes it may be the difference between an agent coming back or not coming back. So I'm again just going to share my back office so I can show you where I find these tools. Now, again, the email that I talked about when you want to email everyone on your team from your back office, that is when you are a gold agent. So if you don't see that, understand that that's what that is. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go to my team. Here's where you can email everyone on your downline. What's really nice, we had another upgraded feature. As I talked about all of the upgrades, emails are really easy. You're going to fill in the subject and the message. Now, you can't attach anything, but you can do links to like your Google Drive. So that's really helpful if you want to do a calendar. You can't send it as attachment, but a link to your Google Drive is super helpful. You have a few options. Send it to your entire downline. I usually don't ever use this. I will send a different email to my active agents. Then I do the inactive agents and the canceled agents. You also have an option to send in a specific leg. So any different legs that you have. Let's say you have one account that's silver, the next account's silver, but you only want to send it to the people in your second account. You can absolutely do that into your specific legs. And then it takes a little while to send the message. So just as a tip, only press this once and give it some time. It will send it. If you press that 2 or 3 times, you're going to send them 4 emails right in the wall. Monica, what is the difference between inactive and canceled? That is a really great question. Inactive is when their payment didn't process. So their payment card didn't have enough money. Maybe their card wasn't active. Maybe they're expired. And canceled is when they actually log into their back office and go to the canceled account. And I'll show you what each of those look like. So again, in the My Team section, what I use, and you can use any of these, you can use your unilevel downline, your active leg counts, you can explore those, but what I use is my downline list. And I'll show you a few tricks. So this first one is an enrollment date range. If you want to see every single agent from the beginning of time, make sure this is before the day you got started. You can see every agent you've ever had. Active, inactive, canceled, all of them. You can show it to do active agents only if you'd like. Here is how you find out who fell off or who went inactive due to 3 declines on their billing. Now it says 3 declines, but what happens is they charge them on their due date. It's usually about 3 in the morning Eastern time, so about 12:30 probably Pacific Standard Time, they try to charge. If it doesn't work, they send them an email and they say, hey, your payment didn't process, adjust your payment information in the back office and we'll try again in 5 days. So you have that 5-day grace period from when they try to charge and they either charge again or they fall off. So what I'll do for the inactives is I will go in there and we'll just do yesterday. Maybe I'll do 2 days just in case there wasn't any. And I will click the button that shows show agents that came off the monthly billing due to 3 declines. And then your number of levels. I always put 0 here, always. So I am then going to, and you can see it by state, you can see by rank, you can see any silvers that fell off if you wanted, or again by a specific leg. But the only thing I usually change is the number of levels and the date. So I'll show you what that looks like. And remember, this is agent's personal information. So I'm going to show it to you really quickly, but I want to definitely keep their information. So all of these then are in red. So all 5 of these came off due to a payment not processing. So those are the 5 that I know that I can then email. I can reach out to them. I can say, hey, how's it going? What happened? you know, and they'll either tell me, hey, I just didn't have the money this week. I might have it next week, or, oh no, I didn't realize that my card declined. Let me get in there and take care of it right away. So I can keep track of it and reach out to them right away. Many people who have their agent ID inactive because the payment didn't process, I don't want them to accidentally make a booking the next day, because it can take a little time for any of their vendor logins to deactivate. So if they were to make a booking the next day and they don't even know that commission isn't going to come to them because their account's inactive. So that's another reason why I like to check in with them. How I check in with new agents. So let's say I want to check in with all the agents that enrolled yesterday, and I just want to introduce myself. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to do yesterday to today. I'm going to change this to 0, and then I'm going to click show my list view. So here are all the agents that signed in yesterday. Notice this one says Evolution Travel, so somebody accidentally put in the incorrect name. I can then reach out to them, have them correct that. How you tell somebody canceled. So here is someone who canceled. See how it says canceled and open position. And that's what it's going to look like when they cancel. Their name is not going to be on there. Another thing that you can do here is you can export these to Excel. Let me show you how to do that. So right at the top here, you can click export to Excel. Now, a lot of people come to me and they say, great, here's what it did. It didn't go to Excel. Well, here's what you can do. If you have a very long list, you're going to have to wait for it to actually download. What you're going to do is you're going to click here at the bottom and highlight all the way up to that little tab before the name, and you're going to copy and paste that into Excel. So you can export all of this information to Excel. Every time you want to text maybe your new agents or your current agents, that is a really great tool, or to email, because once you get the emails into Excel, you can just copy all of them and email them all at once. So that works really well if you're not a gold and you can't email them directly. So I will then reach out to them aside from the canceled person, and I would say, congratulations on becoming an agent. My name is Amy Edwards. I'm your Platinum Consultant. I am always here if you need some help. Here's the link to ever schedule a one-on-one with me. And here is my phone number and my contact information. And then they know how to get a hold of me in case they can't get a hold of their mentor, or they at least know then who I am. One more thing that I want to show you, and we're going to get back to those slides really quick. If I were to run this, let's say for the last about year and a half. And this is something that is really important to me and important that I do often. How many of you have agents join? They start building a team and they have 3 or 4 agents on their team, and then for whatever reason, they have to leave the company. So now you have these agents who are kind of like, for a lack of better terms, an orphan. And I want to make sure that I'm also taking care of those agents and I'm adding them to my direct agents. But how do I know? How am I going to keep track of those? This is what I do. I run a list of all of my agents from the beginning of time. I export it to Excel. So I'm going to copy and paste this to Excel. I can now see in Excel their ID, each agent's ID, and their sponsor's ID. So if I have somebody who has, I can see in here too, they're personally sponsored. So this one is me here. So I'm going to see a 14 here. What I do is I go into Excel after I copy and paste this, and I sort it by the personally sponsored. I'm going to see, oh, this agent has 14 agents on their team. And oh no, their name's in red, or they've canceled and it's in blue. I then have to remember their agent ID, and I have to find these 14 people. So I am going to then sort this list by their sponsor ID. I'm going to look at everyone with the sponsor ID of 37218, and I'm going to add them to my direct agents. That's something you want to watch closely. You don't want somebody to leave because their mentor left and they don't feel like they have any support. So I'll introduce myself to these 14 agents, and then I will become their mentor. Even though they can't see my name directly in the back office, they're still going to see their mentor's name before my name. They're going to now know, hey, this is who I can go to when and if I need help. Any questions on those few things that you can do in your back office? No questions? All right. So now I want to talk about a little more about personal touch for your agents. Something that I think is really, John, I apologize. As soon as I said that, I thought about it. So John, you asked, what do you mean when you can move them to be a direct agent? I am moving them in my head. So they're not a direct agent to me. They're still, their mentor can still come back. Maybe they had to go on a pause for a minute, but I am letting them know that I am going to be helping them now. Hopefully I explained that a little bit better. Yeah, thanks, John. As soon as I said it, I knew that I worded that a little wrong. All right, so some more things that you can do to personalize your new agent's experience. Creating checklists. I'm big on checklists. My mentor, of course, Courtney Palladino, she comes from a teaching background, and we have a checklist for almost anything. So there are checklists. You can create sample forms, and you can have helpful tools for them. So as an experienced agent, we sometimes forget what it's like to be a new agent. How many of you have an agent call and they say, all right, I got into Expedia, I found a great hotel, I know the price, what do I do with it? And we say, put it in a quote. And they're like, oh, okay, I can do that. And we forget that they don't know where to put that in a quote. They don't know if they put it into a quote. They're going to go, to the travel cafe, and they're going to scour the travel cafe for a quote they can just plug the information into. So we have to make sure we stop and kind of have a step back, and we have that covered for us. So a good checklist to have are orientation or onboarding, however your team calls it. A way to get them registered with vendors. How do you let them know where their travel cafe is? How do you let them know how to do bookings? Things like that. How do you let them know how to get their Akimbo card or their business card? Which suppliers to use? That's a really good one. As we all know, the travel cafe is pretty limited on suppliers right now with the update. So we need to make sure we're giving our new agents a list. Do you want to book something to Europe? Go to Europe Express or Trafalgar. Do you want to book a houses, condos, and cabin? Go to Classic Vacations or Red Awning or Vacasa. So just something that they can kind of follow along that gives them a standard outline. Booking start to finish is an amazing checklist. What do you do first? You qualify your client. What do you do next? You get them a quote. So going through that step-by-step with them is super helpful. And then, of course, travel agent perks. You want to, we got them here. We told them all the perks that were available. We told them everything they could do and all the incentives they could get. Now let's get them a list of those. Let's help them to find those. And let's not have them, just searching for travel agent perks and focusing on that only. So let's get them a list of travel agent perks. Some sample forms you can build, qualifying your client. There are quite a few out there. If you look in the chat groups, there are quite a few qualifying your client forms. You can give them a sample quote. You can teach them about branding their business. What should you have on your quote? Your logo, your business name, your contact information. Always. Everything you send out. A sample invoice. Some clients, they like to get invoices. And then thank you letters. You should teach them that you need to send them a thank you for booking, check in with them. It's so important. People think that, oh, I did the booking, I collected my commission, I'm all done. No, you want to make sure they get to their destination. You want to make sure they have a great vacation. You want to make sure they get home and they just have a great time. So you want to make sure they're going to leave you a review. So help them to walk through that process. It can be part of that booking start to finish, because you're not finished until that vacation's done and they're home, right? And then some other helpful tools to have are where to find the training schedules. You want to make sure your agents know where to find those, where to get help. So if they need help, who are they going to reach out to? Of course, to their mentor, but how? And if their mentor isn't available, what is the next step? Who to call when they have a problem? You know what you don't want? You don't want all your agents calling Archer Travel. The first thing that you want to hear when you answer a call from Archer Travel is not Jose saying, grab a notebook, paper, and a pen, because he's about to give you a list and he's about to tell you how to take care of this, right? So you want to make sure that when your agent has any type of problems, they're coming to you, and that you are helping them by helping to go to your mentor or to your leaders until they are helped. You don't want to say, oh, you can't get into Vax, call Archer. No, you want to say there are steps to follow. We can't let all of our agents be flooding Archer with all of the questions. Or you don't want them calling, you know, trying to find out what David McCovey's phone number is, or everyone texting Ron Archer. When it's time, absolutely, you can text Ron Archer, but as long as it's something pertaining to something Ron Archer can handle. So we want to make sure that we're helping them and where they go for help. If a client maybe can't get on an airline or they can't check into their airline, you want them to be able to call you so you can help and direct them where they need to go. Jenny, you asked, what happens to the 10% that have gone to that mentor that dropped out? Great question. I don't believe that it goes anywhere. I am not 100% certain of that because I haven't tested that for myself, but that's a really great question for your mentor to seek out a direct answer. I believe that that's what happens though. And if their mentor comes back and they get their commission, their mentor can still collect that 10%. So that is available. It's not like it goes away forever. So another thing about new agents, they drop out for a month. If they were to come back, Eileen, I think you're correct. 10% stays with Archer is your understanding. I think you are correct. So if an agent has to go inactive for a month and they have a commission coming to them when they come back, they can always inquire about their commission and get their commission. Archer's not going to keep it forever. They're not going to try to penalize you. They want you to fill out the commission tracking forms consistently. They want you to be active when it comes time for payment, but they know that things happen. All right, so in conclusion, just a few things that I'd like to leave you with. And if any of you know me, you know I'm always very kind and compassionate person. So of course I'm going to have this slide, right? I want to make sure that everyone knows it's best to show your passion. If you show your passion, they're going to show their passion. It's kind of like your child looking up to you. They're going to mimic what you do. Stay positive no matter what. And I can't stress this enough. We all get frustrated. We all get upset. Sometimes there's a process we have to follow and we don't like it, but we can't express our frustrations because we can't let our team get discouraged. That's absolutely detrimental to your team. You cannot let your team get discouraged. Which brings me to the next thing, something we say a lot, write up. If you have a problem, if you have a complaint, bring that up to your mentor or up to the platinum leaders. Do not gripe to your team, because again, they're going to get discouraged. They're going to leave. Even if it's a small issue to them, it's going to be a big issue. And you want to make sure that you are staying positive. Be present. Always be present for them. Don't ever get angry. We all have the agent who, they sign on Monday and they have 50 questions on Tuesday, 100 questions on Wednesday, 100 on Thursday, and you can tell them the same question or the same answers over and over again, and they still have those questions. So that's absolutely possible. Be patient. Whenever I have an agent who really requires a lot of attention, I use it as kind of a strategy for me. Like I get really excited for that because I'm like, you know what? I need to find that piece of information that's going to help them to click. I need to find out what I can get them to help them have everything click together. And one day it usually just clicks. And then I know that piece of information and I am super excited. So I use that to motivate myself. Be there to help in booking and building. I know some of you, you're in here for the residual portion, and that's perfectly fine. But you have to be able, if you are guiding your team, you have to help them with booking and building. Please never tell your team that you don't know. You can say, you know what, I haven't done that yet, but let me find out. I haven't experienced that type of booking, but let me find out. Lead by example. Never be afraid to ask for help. Let me find out. If I can't help you, I'm going to find help. You're in business for yourself, but never by yourself. So you always have a team of people to help you. If your mentor can't help you, or your mentor is not in the business, somebody is always there to help you. And be kind. Above all, just be kind and be compassionate, and make sure that if an agent's reaching out to you, you're not saying, you know, I'm at work, or I can't help you today. I can't help you for another week. You know, just understand that they are trying to make this business work. They have invested in themselves. They need a little bit of guidance. And without that guidance could really make or break somebody who could be very successful. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Let's make it count. My dad used to say that to me all the time, and that's what I end a lot of the trainings with. So thank you everyone for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. You guys have made my first time doing this training an amazing success. And if you have any questions, feel free to put all of those questions in the chat box. I would love to help everyone and to be able to answer your questions. Caitlin, you asked, is it possible to get the checklist? It seems more detailed than the one you received. What checklist are you referring to? Let's see. You guys are very welcome. Thank you for everyone who thanked me in the chat box. I certainly appreciate that. Melissa, you can absolutely ask me a question. Yes. John, you're very welcome. Darby, how long does it take to get to platinum normally, and what's a good timeline to have as a goal? How long does it take to get normally? I couldn't even say that. There really isn't a black and white answer because everybody does this on their own timeline. I wish I could just tell you 6 months in your gold, 12 months in your platinum. It really, I think you get a better feel for it once you get to be bronze, because getting to be bronze seems like it takes 100 years. It just seems like it takes forever because you're learning along the way. So when you get to be bronze, you're going to start setting up your goals. Make those goals short. So right now, if you don't hold a rank, getting to platinum is a long-term goal, but easily break it up with those short-term goals. You know, getting to be executive, bronze, golds, platinum. A good timeline as a goal. It took me almost 2 years. I feel like that was a pretty good timeline, especially coming from somebody who thought, yeah, right, I don't talk to anybody. I don't think I could ever even make silver. Once I got to be a silver, I was like, holy cow, that was pretty easy. I'm going to keep going. Why not keep going? So I originally just wanted to get rid of that $69.95 so I could take my time and learn more. Because I'm one that really likes to learn and learn and learn. In fact, I Google way too much. So that's how I kind of got started. It's really going to be your drive and determination. I think 2 years is a really good goal for platinum. Maybe try to do it in a year, but make sure you break that up a little bit. Amy, where will I be posting this video? So I am going to post it in my chats. But I believe it's posted on the Evolution corporate page, the Evolution Enterprises Facebook page. Thank you, Carissa. That's super exciting. Thank you so much. Doris, thank you, Kimberlyn. Yes, everyone have an amazing day. Thank you, Irene. That's super helpful. Brittany, you missed the first 10 minutes. I apologize if I already said this. Is there a list of scheduled interested new agents to view the webinar we watched before we became agents? So there isn't. There isn't a direct lead program per se from Archer Travel. So there isn't a lead for travel or a lead for team building. But you're going to work with your mentor and you're going to help to build that list for yourself. So Caitlin, the one I was saying I send to new agents, the welcome packet. So what I did, I developed my own. I went in and I took the one from the back office, and let me show you where that is, because I'm not sure if I pointed that out, and I want to make sure that everyone knows where that is. All right. Just need to move my controls out of the way here so that I can get logged in. So in their back office, under the quick start documents, under the download new agent packet, you open this up, and this is what all new agents can get access to. I pretty much took this outline and I took screenshots of every screen. And then I told them how to get business cards. I told them how to register for suppliers. And I really just took screenshots of every screen. And then I put that, I use Canva, but you can use Word. I opened mine in Word. I sent it in a PDF. So just like this, I just use this as an outline. I had to put a couple links for some trainings in there as well, so that they would have some information in case I couldn't help them right away. And then I would break it up. So I would give them like 5 steps, and then I would say, check in with me. Another 5 steps, check in with me. Jenny, you are very welcome. So this is my first time with corporate training. I do some presentations, and I do some other trainings as well. Courtney, thank you. Linda, Carmen, you are welcome. Get through all of these questions here. So where do you find the link to send someone that wants to be a new agent? So right here, back office. Right here, it says enroll an agent. Once you click on that link, it's going to open it up to a new tab. Right here is the link that you send them. You copy and paste it right out of here. Or if you want to enroll them yourself, you get them on the phone, or you get them on Zoom and share your screen so they can see everything that you're doing, and you put this right in there. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Amy. Great name, by the way. Melissa, you're new and you filled out the supplier request form requesting access to Norwegian cruises. Will they send me a username and password in the email? So for Norwegian Cruise Line, so if, why can't I remember if Norwegian Cruise Line is in there? Let me look really quick for you. Sylvester, I'm so happy this helped you out. Brandy, for this to be your first training, you did amazing. Couldn't tell it all. Thank you so much. So I want to reiterate, I've been on Zoom. I do some trainings with my team. My first time at corporate team building. This video is quite advanced for your knowledge, so I think I'll come back when you're ready. Perfect, Abigail. Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of my same thing with getting started. Like I would watch training videos over and over again until I really got it. I'm going to open up the travel cafe so I can look at Norwegian for you. Thank you so much, Brittany. Monica, what's the best channel for prospecting and what worked best for you? Social media. Absolutely, social media. Yeah, getting your name out there. Not only do you get your name out there as a travel agent, but you can let other people know that they can be travel agents. So the more that you mimic on your social media, the more they see you doing, you can kind of build from there. Ron Archer also helps with his marketing. Mike Archer, watch those, get some little tips and trades from them. Ron Archer, they had that Friday flash sale. If you guys ever go to those, they were doing like airline incentives, hotel incentives, way to kind of build up your team as well, offering incentives. All right, so I'm going to go to the supplier request form. Yeah, Norwegian Cruise Line is on there. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Yes, Archer Travel within about 4 to 7 business days is going to send you your username and password. Thank you, John and Courtney. I just got to that message. Thank you so much. So hopefully I was able to answer your question about Norwegian Cruise Line as well. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining me here today. It's been an absolute pleasure. My first time with Courtroom Team Building, and you guys have made it amazing. I hope to see everyone on here again. And remember to just stay plugged in and don't be a silent agent. If you need some help, ask for some help, and let your agents come to you as well. So thank you, everyone. Have an amazing Monday evening.